hypothermia, car accidents, slipping on ice. These are just some of the many risks winter weather can bring, especially in Pennsylvania. Whether it be blizzards, lake effect snow, snow squalls, ice, or bone chilling cold, the National Weather Service's mission is to predict and communicate risks to the public. Out of the NWS's plethora of winter related hazard headlines, 14 are issued throughout Pennsylvania. While thresholds vary across the state, inclement winter weather is most common in the Laurel Highlands, the Pocono Mountains, and the lake effect snowbelt regions.
For example, in a place like Harrisburg, which isn't used to as much snow, the thresholds are going to be a little bit lower compared to a place like Warren County or even Erie County that gets blasted by lake effect snow very regularly.
The NWS office in State College has core partners like the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency, the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, social scientists, and private sector companies that rely on winter hazard headlines to help the public exercise safe winter weather precautions. However, the plethora of headlines can jeopardize and confuse those affected. In order to provide the protection of life and property and enhancement of the national economy, the NWS has undergone an initiative called Hazard Simplification.
So, as a part of the Hazard Simplification Initiative, the goal is to simplify the messaging as much as is reasonable.
The current watch, warning, and advisory system contains many winter weather phenomena, but sometimes may cloud the message that the NWS wants to convey. In response to public feedback, the NWS will aim to discontinue most advisory headlines in 2021. Advisories, as well as special weather statements and hazardous weather outlooks, are proposed to be replaced with plain language statements. Despite these potential changes, the messages these statements will convey will primarily be the same, just more concise.
And so the effort again with all of this is, are there too many watches, warnings, or advisories? Do we need to pare them down? Do we need to reintroduce some for particular hazards that are going to be more hazardous? And again, the goal here is protection of life and property.
Not only may winter advisories be pared down, but they also may be consolidated into pre-existing headlines. An example of this was when the freezing rain advisory was discontinued in 2017, but merged into the pre-existing winter weather advisory. However, over the past few years, lake effect snow headlines have proven to be unique. Prior to 2017, the lake effect snow advisory, the lake effect snow watch, and the lake effect snow warning were active headlines throughout Pennsylvania. Then, as part of the Hazard Simplification Initiative, all three headlines were discontinued in 2017. However, the NWS re-implemented the lake effect snow warning in 2019. So, what makes lake effect snow events so special? The NWS determined that lake effect snow events are unique enough to set them apart from even strong winter storms.
A winter storm warning, generally people will associate with, maybe up to a foot of snow. But we've seen in various events for lake effect snow, sometimes you can far exceed that and have crippled infrastructure, crippled roads, all sorts of people trapped on highways. And so being able to re-implement something that packs a punch, that's going to get people to respond, has been very, very important.
Another unique winter headline is the snow squall warning. The NWS implemented this headline in 2018 in order to alert travelers of sudden reductions in visibilities and also of sudden flash freezes. Across I-80 in the wintertime, snow squalls are very common but are different than lake effect snow bands. Lake effect snow forms from when cold air over relatively warmer lake water and other processes produce persistent snow bands, while snow squalls are defined as quick-hitting heavy snow showers that result in flash freezes.
The message is that there's no safe place on a highway during a snow squall, because when you're traveling, say 60, 70, 80 miles an hour down a highway, once you hit the snow squall or the area of flash freeze, it is very difficult to stop, and that's how we can get these massive pileups.
Upon an impending winter storm, the role that the NWS has is crucial to make sure people are safe.
Even if we put together a perfect forecast, if we don't communicate it effectively, it's not going to do what we desire it to do. And so this sort of interface between the science and the communication continues to be a vital part of what we do. And that really comes to the heart of the Hazard Simplification Program.
4 to 7 days before a winter storm's arrival, the NWS will notify the public about a potential storm and give probabilities on potential impacts. 3 days out, the NWS will consult with core partners on how to best give winter weather preparedness tips to the public via social media. Then, when there's high confidence that a storm will impact an area less than 2 days out, the NWS will focus much of its attention not just on making an accurate forecast, but also on effectively communicating that forecast.
So that's when we're going to start really honing in on our totals for snowfall, for ice. How cold is it going to be? What's our timing going to be? And one thing that we really focus on, or a couple things we really focus on, are not only the snowfall amount, because the public cares about that, but also what's the start time of precipitation going to be? When is it going to snow the heaviest? What are the snowfall rates going to be? Because that information is particularly important for like the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation or the Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission.
So, in an effort to improve hazard simplification this winter, the NWS urges the public to provide them feedback via their website, weather.gov/ctp/winter, or to email hazsimp@noaa.gov. For Weather World, I'm Ryan DePhillips.